Well, I'm glad that you guys had fun. We loved shooting you guys. We shooting with cameras. I mean, yeah, it was like, where does the camera go next? That was a great performance, really dynamic. Um, Loved it. Now, you guys have kind of an interesting story. The germ of your band. You can talk. You gonna talk? You can switch back and forth. The germ of this band, as I understand, starts in South America with you, Javier, and you, Hildy. Yeah. And what were you guys doing there?
Well, we were falling in love, I guess.
Shit. Right, we knew that, but besides
well,
that part.
We don't want to get into those details. Let's put it in more into a band side. But yeah, we were hanging out. We were getting to know each other. We traveled from Ecuador to Argentina, got to know each other, hung out for a while, and then, well, she taught me English. I taught her Spanish, so her Spanish is really good. And yeah, we came up with the idea of making music together. And once we started, we were like, wow, we work well together. So we started making music with some friends there. And I love Prague, Hildy loves Prague, and this is what we end up doing.
I see. So what were you doing in Ecuador?
I was studying abroad.
Oh.
I was in school.
All right. I'm guessing that Ecuador was not an accident. You didn't just end up in Ecuador. You had some propensity to end up there.
Well, my neighbor, when I was in school in Oregon, was from Ecuador, and she told me that the food was good in Ecuador, so I decided to study abroad there. And it was really pretty, and I got to go to the Galapagos, so it was a good choice.
Nah, you've got a sympathetic ear here. I moved to Austin just because I always thought that was the food I wanted to eat. So that was the reason. So you guys moved back here when? A couple years ago?
Yeah, 2 years. We moved back here
2 years ago. And then you added these musicians, and it was through friends of bands, through listings? How'd you do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Right. Why don't you guys briefly tell what you've been doing also, and how you found these guys?
I've played with Javier now about a year and a half in another project, and he just guitar in there and he's bass in there. He brought me into this group as percussion to help round out the sound. So that's my purpose.
We met on Craigslist. I was looking for a band. I played in a couple of other bands in Seattle, and but I wasn't doing anything at the time, and we liked the Mars Volta, so it was kind of a cool mixture of ideas.
I was looking for a band also. I was like kind of growing up on like Tool and Deftones and that sort of thing, and I don't know, it just kind of like fell together. Like I always like looked for like a serious band. I was in another band before, but totally fell apart, and now I just like found these guys, and I was like, it was way better, and I'm still like learning. I'm trying to like pursue music full time, like whenever I can. So.
Right. Now, the one thing that people should know about you guys, you have fantastic album covers. You already have done 5 albums. I mean, you're all so young. It seems hard to believe there's already 5 albums out there. The artwork is fantastic. You are also kind of a visual artist. Understand it. Worth looking this band up just to see that. From what I understand, you haven't played a lot of live shows in Seattle yet, correct? You're just gearing up for that.
This is basically our 3rd live show. We played in a house party once, and then in the Columbia City Theater. That was cool. Yeah, but we're starting. We're getting into it.
Right. Okay. But you have a CD coming out, and it's a real treat. It has a 3D viewing glasses attached to the frame. I don't really fully understand how it all works, but you can flip through images, and you can see his artwork come at you, come right at your nose, and it's there it is. There it is.
Yeah. The idea is like I made with a coworker.
Right.
From Mexico, a good friend too, and graphic designer, and we just wanted to do something related with stereoscopy. So we made a lot of images here that, well, you show 2 images and see through the lenses and end up getting this 3D effect. This is an old technology. It's been out since the 1800s, and
Right.
It was pretty cool.
Well, as you can see, they've got a lot of ideas. They played a really exciting set here for us. I do have to ask you one question before you get off the stage. So who does the counting in this band? I mean, when I was asking how to describe yourself, you didn't say math rock once, but clearly someone's doing some counting to 11. Not easy to do. Is that you? That is, yeah, very nice, very nice. So subtle you almost don't notice, but it's definitely in there. You guys know what you're doing. I applaud you. It was exciting, and we hope to see you around Seattle soon.
Thanks for the invitation. Great
Yeah.
show.
So it's Glacial Drift, everyone. Look for them. Look for them. Good live show. All right. Thanks. Oh, Plastic Jet, January 31st, 2014. We will see you again next week. God, the slave drive.
Thank you guys very
Around
much.
here. All right.
Thank you.
Cool.